Durbanville preview for the 23rd of March. This preview is brought to you by GGGaming. Right, let's go straight into race number 1. This is the Welcome to Cape Racing maiden plate. It is for fillies and mares. They're going 1,250 metres, and the weak form of some of the exposed runners suggests that it could be a race that one of the first timers could come through and win. And one of those first timers belongs to Eric Sands, beautifully bred. It's an Irish bred. It's the daughter of Cable Bay making her debut, and got the services of Aldo De Meo on board. And I do think that doesn't have to be well above average to land a race like this, and I do think it needs to be included in all bet types. For second, I'm going to go with number 4, Gillian Ann. This one, probably its peak run. It's been running there or thereabouts. It's been improving as well, and that should be good enough form to finish in that second place. And then for third, I'm going to number 2, Gelik Your Baby. This one from the Paul Reeve Yard. For the first race then, numbers we're going to be concentrating on, numbers 7, 4 and 2. First timer looks set to win the first. Let's move on to the second race. It will be the opening leg of this afternoon's place Accumulator, and the second race is the tabonline.co.za, merit rated 80 handicap, 4 fillies and mares, and they're going 1,600 metres. First choice, I'm going to go with number 1, Duplicity, a gutsy winner last time out. Really did finish that race off well. I think she's still got more improvement to come, and I think that she could well be competitive here again. So Duplicity comes in as my first choice. For second, I'm going to go with number 4, Starboard, another one that was quite a handy winner last time out. Looks to have further scope, and again, could be a bit of a match race between these two, number 2 and 4. And then for third, I'm going with number 1, Spring is in the air, distance suited, and there could also be a bit of improvement to come. But I think the top 2 should fight it out. Narrow selection here, number 2, Duplicity. Right, let's move on to the third race. This is the Teletrackcom, a merit rated 80 handicap, and this one over 1,600 metres. First choice, I'm going to go with the 5, High Moon. Now this horse took a bit of a while to win his maiden. He was pretty frustrating actually, hosting off a whole sequence of second place finishes, but when he won and he got up quite nicely, and that form line is working out quite smartly as well. So I'm going to give him a chance here, and I think that number 5, High Moon, could be a bit of value. For second, I'm going to go with number 1, Gallic Tribe. This one has been gelded, and he comes back from the gelding, and I do think that there'll be a bit of improvement to come from him, probably wanting a little bit further in due course, but word from the yard is that he is fit and well, and he will give a good performance. And then for third, I'm going to go with number 4, Somerset Morn. Needed the last run a little bit, and certainly has a lot of improvement to come. Lightly raced and hasn't done too much wrong. Form is consistent, so that definitely warrants consideration. Race number 3 numbers, I'm going 5, 1 and 4. Well, let's move on to the fourth race. It's the www.caperacing.co.za, merit rated 94 handicap over 1,600 metres. Quite a competitive little race here, and I'm going to go with number 1, Red Lark, to come through. Red Lark's been running in a little bit stronger company. He drops in class just a fraction today, and I do think that that's going to really enhance his chances here. So he looks to be a bit of a runner here in race number 4. For second, I'm going to go with number 3, Contact Zone. His last run was in a Group 1, and he pulled up a little bit jarred after that, but word from the yard is that he's been working well, and they can expect a bold showing from him today as well. And then we move on to the third place. I'm going to go with number 6, The Second Wave. Another game and honest campaigner. He doesn't really know how to run a bad race, and I think he'll certainly up his game and be competitive again. He'll be right there in the vanguard. So numbers then for race number 4, I'm going 1, 3 and 6. Let's move on to race number 5. This is the Computer Form Online merit rated 86. It's a handicap over 2,000 metres. Smallish field of 7. But here's one of the better bets on the card in my opinion. I do like a horse called Night Song. He's number 3 in this race, and he's been really competitive. He managed to win a really nice race last time out, and I think he's going to be competitive again. I think he could still be under the handicapper's radar here, and he might well be able to go in again. So he's going to be a firm first choice for me, Night Song. For second, I'm going to go with a horse that is always there or thereabouts as well. Maybe he's lost a little bit of his sparkle of late, and that's number 2, Sudden Star. He's always consistent, and he always gives a gutsy performance, and you can expect that again from him this afternoon. So he's my second choice. For third, I'm going to go with number 1, August Leaves. Likes to run fresh. Obviously, the trip's going to pose no problem at all, and I think he could be competitive as well. So 3, 2 and 1, the numbers for race number 5, but quite bullish on Night Song. Let's move on to the sixth race. This is the interbet.co.za. It's a merit rated 78, a divided handicap for fillies and mares, and this time the trip 1,400 metres. definitely one of the more trappy affairs on the card. This race looks to be very open, and you can make a case for quite a few of them. So tentative selections for me. I'm going with the 5 horse here to win it, Wild Creature, and I think there could be more improvement. He hasn't had a lot of runs, and I think there is improvement to come, so certainly needs to be respected. For second, I'm going to go with the 6 Little Doe. Looks to be a nice prospect in the making, and Dean Cannonbay has brought him along nicely, brought her along nicely, and I think that she'll give a really game account of herself. She is a second selection for me. And then for third, I'm going to go with number 3, Royal Blue. Coming off a bit of a rest, but was a nice winner of its second start, and it could be absolutely anything, so maybe good enough to even be competitive for first position there. Numbers then for race number 6. Selections I'm going 5, 6 and 3. Penultimate race on the card is race number 7, and this is the Racing Association merit rated 94 divided handicap once again, this time fillies and mares again, at the trip 1400 metres. Competitive little race. I'm going with Brett Crawford to land the spoils here in race 7 with number 3, Walk of Fame. This looks to be a nice progressive horse, and I think there will certainly be improvement to come, and if there is improvement, well, she could have the ability to beat this field. So she's going to be my first choice, number 3, Walk of Fame. For second, I'm going to go with number 4, Alfred's Girl. She really likes Durbanville. Big, robust girl as well, and I think she could give plenty of cheek, and she does represent decent value at around 10, 12 to 1. That's Alfred's Girl for my second selection. For third, I'm going to go with number 1, Ballroom Bliss. She's a gutsy filly this as well. She's been taking on some of the best of her generation in the class, and this might just be a race that she can actually come through and be very competitive in once again, even with that high rating of hers. So Ballroom Bliss, definitely one for third place. 3, 4 and 1, the selections for race number 7. Let's move on then to the 8th and final. Race number 8 is the next race meeting is on the 29th of March, and this is a merit rated 80, a handicap over the 5 furlongs, the 1,000 metre mark. Number 1, Speed of Night. There was a much better improved run after a bit of a comeback off the layoff, and I think he could well be just the one that could come through and land the last year as well. So plenty of respect for number 1, Speed of Night, and will be my first choice. For second, I'm going to go with number 7, Barney McGrew. Has been running really consistently of late, and he's been right up there and giving plenty of cheek in some of his races, and he could be good enough to certainly finishing amongst the trifecta positions here. I'm putting him as my second choice. For third, I'm going to go with number 3, Captain Dizzy. That was a very impressive maiden win after being gelded, and the form may well be franked this past week as well, with the horse that he beat coming out and running competitive race once again. So for me, I do think he's going to be right in the vanguard, number 3, Captain Dizzy. But numbers then for the 8th race on the card, I'm going 1, 7 and 3. Best bet time, and best bet comes in race number 5. I'm going with number 3, Night Song. Ultra consistent, smallish field. He should get conditions to suit him in the race, and I make him a nice value bet for a win, and represents decent value, carded up around that 3 to 1 mark. Best value bet comes in race number 7, number 4, Alfred's Girl. Gutsy filly, and she loves Durbanville, and I think she'll give a great account of herself there as too. So those are the 2 value bets, best bet and best value bet. Let's move on to the Place Accumulator. Place Accumulator will kick off in the second race, and I'm going to go with the following numbers. First leg, 2 and 4, by 1 and 5, by 1 and 3, by banker 3, by 3, 5 and 6, by 3 and 4, by 1 and 3, and that'll cost you 144 Rand. PickSix for the Durbanville meeting on the 23rd of March. Here we're going 1, 2, 4 and 5, by 1, 3 and 6, by banker 3, by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 10, by 1, 3, 4, by 1, 3, 7. That's your PickSix perm for the Durbanville meeting. Enjoy racing out at Durbanville, and once again, this preview is brought to you by GGGaming.